Thank you for tuning in to our podcast, Life and Love After Divorce and Grief. For more information, please visit our website at
We in the house, baby.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
And welcome to Life and Love After Divorce and Grief.
Welcome back to the show.
Welcome back to another episode of this amazing journey of our love story.
Yes.
A lot of you all have watched from the beginning of the Jacksons, from a glance to the gown. So this was really exciting. We put our new video up. We want to thank the Lindsay family, Daryl and Natalie Lindsay, for officiating our ceremony.
And counseling.
And counseling. And just continued support and prayer.
Exactly.
Which is so important. One of the advices that I remember she gave to us was, be wise with counsel and do not take good advice from people with bad marriages. And I really love that.
Oh, I love that. Man,
So if you're not married, you need to not give people marital advice.
And if you are married and have a bad marriage, even though you might have good advice, keep it.
Yes, because the theme of our show today is called Being Married and Knowing You Have a good thing.
And why is love a good thing?
Yeah, why is love a good thing? Why do you think love is a good thing?
Man, it has many benefits. You know me, I do the research.
Yes. And let's name one.
It actually builds your immune system.
Yes, it builds your immune system because, think about it, you're with someone and you start to cover one another. So
That's
you start to know each other. I start to know when you're going to get a cold or when your allergies is acting up. And so being together, you know what I'm saying, it's like sometimes when your allergies act up, I'll be like, well, I don't have allergies, but I'm stocked up for some reason, you know. We think about so many times in relationships. I'm in this book series, y'all, called Mean Girls. It's by Haley DeMarco. Really good read.
Okay.
I do these little, you know, I do these little times to myself, you know, when you get to yourself and you got to reflect. A lot of times I'm learning that sometimes your habits and what you do prior to getting in a relationship and being married and knowing who you are as a person, you know, it says when a man who finds a wife finds a good thing, meaning that you got to already be into what God has called you to be.
That's right.
Sometimes being in the unknown is a good thing.
Yeah.
Because then you're able to focus on the task at hand. You're not concerned with who sees you or who don't see you. You're focused on your destiny.
And your assignment.
I want to read this insert from this book, you know, as we start our show off today, and as we will each time, highlighting our personal experiences with one another. Because in your segment, okay, when we were in Myrtle Beach, he wanted me to get a hermit crab. Okay, and I'm thinking to myself, I barely eat crabs, but the ones I do eat, they be very tasty. But why would I want to bring a crab home? And what did you say these hermit crabs be doing? What's the purpose of having one?
It's just a pet, baby.
Okay, so it's a pet
It outgrows
crab.
its shells.
So you got one pet crab. Okay, so what is the benefit of what this crab does?
It just sits in the tank. It's just something to have.
And what do they do? Like, what do they do?
Nothing.
But you said something about their shell.
They outgrow their shell. They leave that shell, and they have to go get another shell.
Now, this is my question, people. He's going to bring me one crab home. So, where was he going to get his other shell?
We was going to have to go find a bigger one. They leave them on the beach. They leave the shells. You know, you can find bigger shells.
But we live in Knoxville, Tennessee, so where would we'd have to go buy shells? Where? We'd have to go somewhere at a bait shop or something and go Walmart and in the aquarium department and buy a shell.
They don't have it. They won't have it.
So he gonna die? So he gonna die?
Well,
if we don't find him a shell, so
we can get a prosthesis.
I don't play with God's animals like that. What I'm saying is, you're gonna bring me one little hermit crab. We're gonna name him Herman.
We name him Herman, George, whatever you want to name him.
Y'all.
But no, y'all, you know what? Since she like to mess with me, we're going to take a short break, and I'm going to show you this video clip. Y'all that know from Knoxville or been in Knoxville, y'all know where Waffle House is on Cedar Bluff. Well, she swears that there's a cliff. It's just a bank. And I parked there on purpose because for some reason she's terrified of it. But watch this clip.
Because shouldn't nobody's turns get that close to the edge?
Watch
That's
this.
my point.
Watch this clip and we'll be right back.
I'm a presidential if you want some fast. I need you now. Put me on fire like you want done. I wonder why you so.
You ain't got to do that close, Donnie. And the car gonna move.
Y'all hear the dude. Every time we park at this Waffle House, we think we going off a cliff.
Funny.
Y'all, this is what my baby be thinking. We running off the cliff when we park at Waffle House. Y'all look.
Y'all look at that cliff. Ain't nobody got to park that close to the edge.
We not even close.
But from up here, ain't nobody got to get that close. No wonder if something was to happen.
Like what, honey? What's going to happen?
Well, I ain't saying the brakes should go out. But anything could happen. This little parking space, someone might bump you right there.
Ain't nobody going to get us.
Well, I know they not.
Come on,
but
scaredy
I'm just
cat.
saying, I know I'll be a scary cat. I'll be a safe scary cat because I ain't got 9 lives. Y'all got 9 lives? You ain't playing with my one. I love my boo.
I love my
But
baby.
you ain't got to park that close.
Okay, I'll stop parking. Okay, baby. Now, let me ask you, what was the reason for you holding up the phone? If we would went off the cliff, what would it?
The less I see, the better. Just like right now, I'm blocking me right now, so y'all don't see my face.
Y'all,
Because I was petrified. So the less you see, the better, wouldn't you think?
did y'all notice her face when she noticed where I was parking?
I was minding my own business. See, that's why I tell a lot of people, you be careful what you do on your phone, because when you look up, whole life can change. Your whole life can change within moments. And now when I drive going to breakfast,
She parks about a mile away. People have to go around the truck because she won't pull our way up. Like
I'm saving their life.
like we
because
going over the cliff,
the
bank.
The more attention I give them cars, that they need to be careful coming around that little bend. She be coming around the mountain and she come. We ain't got time for surprises because on that cliff, one mistake and you going, boom.
It's a bank, baby. It's not a cliff.
It's a cliff when your truck gonna land like this. What y'all think? Hey, for all y'all out there, would you call it a bank? A bank is when you hit it, you just go to the side, right? Got a ditch
No,
or
you just
something.
gonna go down a little bit,
But
bounce,
this particular parking spot, y'all. Let's get eye level right now. Let's eye level. You gonna go from here to here.
it's just gonna bounce a little bit, and it's
That's
gonna
a
stay
cliff.
on all four.
Well, at the end of the day, that's a cliff. Anytime your vehicle leave its proximity and lands on its headlights, that's a cliff. Now, if it lands on the side door, you can still get out. But I'm talking about your car you gonna go like this and possibly flip on over.
It's not gonna flip over. It's just gonna go down, bounce a little bit.
Well, I tell you what, one of y'all drive your vehicles over, and when you land, call us on the show, and we'll see who's right or wrong, okay? But
Let me do this world news real quick, baby.
Okay.
And this is okay. Anyway, there's a ban on boiling crabs and lobsters in these countries: Switzerland, New Zealand, Norway, Italy, United Kingdom, and Belgium. They said that they did a study at the University of Göttingen in Sweden and said that the crabs and the lobsters can feel pain, but so you got to shock them or stun them before you boil them in those countries. Pain is pain to me.
And he wanted me to bring a crab home.
We wasn't gonna boil that one.
But still, him not being able to come out of his shell that he's outgrown and have to remain in a little bit shell, we killing him anyway. Like, it's horrible. Just crab life is just it's just hard. They probably they water animals, but when they come
Well, a
on
hermit
land,
crab most of the time is on land, darling.
but still, anytime they see a human, they just probably have a boil attack.
A boil attack.
Boil attack.
What they do? Just get hot and pass out?
They just even think about heat, just pass completely out, just boil attack.
Y'all know those commercials, ASCPA, or whatever you call them, that come on and show the dogs out in the cold and all. She need to be a part of that. For crabs.
No. Let me get back to Meanville. This right here, you
get back
guys.
to Meanville.
Because we have a wonderful theme today that says love is a good thing, Proverb 18 and 22. And we're going to be talking about Naomi and Ruth.
Yes.
A lot of people knows that story.
Yes.
But the main focus that most people look at is Ruth found a Boaz.
Exactly.
And the story is really a little deeper.
It is.
Than
About
that. It's
sisterhood.
about relationship.
Yeah,
and
sisterhood. Yes.
And being able to know that sometimes when you go outside your family, go outside tradition, go outside religion, go outside the norm,
Yeah.
how sometimes you're not received back when things change in your life and you try to go back. And that's what happened to Ruth, y'all, is that, she wasn't able to go. She was afraid to go back to her hometown.
Yeah.
And she trusted God in taking care of this woman who was her mother-in-law because her husband died, which was her sons that died. And this grieving woman went back to her own hometown and not knowing that this whole time, Ruth's mother-in-law had family that was a king. And she never introduced the king. It was never an introduction. Ruth didn't just meet him because she was hooked up.
That's right.
It was by chance. But in this book here that I'm reading called Mean Girls Gone, my goal is to, with this segment here, when we first come on our show, is even though we have the funny side, we want to kind of, you got to laugh off the mean. Because, see, I think the enemy's job is to have us to remain mad about something.
Exactly.
People get in the pulpit all the time, and they give some great sermons, and I call them lessons. They're lessons, life lessons.
Right.
And because they're hearing everybody's business. They counsel people. They talk to people. They know a lot about their congregation. They know a lot about their staff. They know how much money they make, what they tithe. Like, when you really think about it, church is like a business.
Pretty much.
And they run it to an extent where they know what you give, what you don't give, how much you make. And sometimes that's a little bit more control.
Yeah.
Then sometimes you want to offer up to people. Because I think really what I make ain't nobody's business between me and God. And him trusting that I do the right thing. Because in the Bible, there were people that just dropped dead for not being obedient in their giving, because he asked them to sell all their stuff and then put it at the altar, and they tried to keep some. And then when he asked, "Was this all?" See, my thing is, he might have allowed them to die if they would have said, "Well, I know you said bring all 5,000, but we kept 1,500 because we just didn't, And I think God might have a little mercy and be like, okay, well, bring me the 1,500 because you're gonna trust me now, because because you told the truth, but." When you gonna take it and be like, yeah, that's all we got left, and knowing you had a stack put up, he realized where their heart was.
And not only that, I remember I cannot remember the names, but I remember the story in the Bible where I'm gonna use the word congregation for less of a better word.
Have scripture there with it.
Where the congregation, they were all on one accord. This couple came in. Tried to cause division. They didn't want to be on one accord. They dropped dead right there.
Yeah. And that's what can happen in our lives. And sometimes you got to look at life like that. But it says, if a habit is bad, don't feed it.
That's right.
If it's bad, don't feed it. If you know that something that you do makes you not be the real you.
That's right.
It's time to not do it no more and be around people and appreciate people that's going to call that demon.
That's right.
Don't get mad at the person that caused the demon, because that person is sent to your life to get you back on track. And we get mad at the vessel that's coming to say, hold on a minute, you done had how many drinks? Nah, you ain't driving tonight. I'm taking you home. You're going to leave your car here. We get mad at those people.
Yeah.
And that's why we say is love a good thing, not just in marriage, but just in relationships,
period,
because it's the relationships you have that makes you have a great marriage. If you don't have great relationships with people, it might be kind of hard to have a good marriage because you're not going to know a good thing.
That's right.
Because you caught up in the bad things
That's it.
that you don't have anymore,
That's
which
right.
led you to be free to be with somebody
Exactly.
who is a good thing because they found you, and that's exactly what you're supposed to be. It says a man who find a wife find a good thing. So it says habits are the creation of repeated action. They grow or drop off based on repetition.
Wow.
If you make it a habit to read, you will become a better reader. If you regularly exercise, you will become stronger. It's the same with your spirit. Whenever you are envious, you strengthen your envy. You nurture it and grow its power in your life. If you don't want to live with envy, then don't continue to feed it every time it pops up. Give it nothing to support its life. If you will forsake it and end the reputation of envy, even if you can only do it every other time, it will slowly get better. Soon you will have a day of avoiding it, then a week of avoiding it, and eventually a harmful emotion will be replaced by a healthier one. Let's dive into this. If envy isn't your sin or choice, then what is? Pick something that plagues you, that makes you feel depression, anger, resentment, loneliness, or jealousy. And then do what this exercise says. Stop feeding it.
That's right.
Turn it off at every chance. Change the channel. So it means if you're watching a movie, and let's say you are dealing with a breakup right now, okay, you're a little mad. You feel in your head you want to go bust his tires and blow out the windows, and because I've had that happen to me. But if you just stop watching that movie, you know, don't follow it out. You know, you down on your luck and thinking about robbing a bank, and then you go watch Set It Off. Like, that's not the movie.
That's not the movie to watch.
That's not the movie to watch when you having all of these kind of thoughts.
Right.
So what I'm saying is we can be fed either by people to do wrong, or the enemy can come to us and we watch things, or we hear music, or we are adapted to something that's going to feed that emotion to be out of order.
That's right. Let me tell this story real quick. There's a story of it was a guy in a town, and every weekend he had a black dog and a white dog. Every weekend he would take the dogs to the fighting pen, and all these people would bet this money. And every weekend this man won. So finally one guy walked up to him and said, "How is it that you know which dog is going to win on any given week?" And this is what he told him. He said, "If I want the black dog to win the week before the fight, I feed him. I don't feed the white one." And all it's saying is what you feed is going to win.
Correct. So if you feed negativity and that's all you're used to, and then you bring that into your marital relationship, or some of you all, that has caused your divorce, is the mistrust. The mistrust comes from misloyalty.
That's right.
So you can't get mad if someone don't trust you.
That's right. I do it. I was just no, we don't have that on there. I was just it's research that they done that says the U.S. Census says 40% of people pick the wrong person to marry.
Correct. And see, we're talking about a lot of world news. We're talking about things to get you underlined that, first of all, we're real people. We have real emotions, and everybody has been following our story for a while. But life and love after divorce and grief, our subjects are based around some of the decisions we've had to make to, first of all, become single again. And then when you do that, you need time to yourself.
That's right.
You know, you need that time to refocus on that gift and that something that's going to take your mind off being in a relationship, because then when you're ready, that's when it will find you, because you will become a good thing because you're healed. A lot of times we jump back in and we're not healed. It says when you do stop feeding it, you turn it off at every chance you get. You change the channel, move on to another subject, get out of the environment that is causing you to continue to be down. So if you're around people that's just drama filled, and every time you say something, they batty, they ready to fight, pull the guns, get on Facebook, let's advertise it.
Yeah,
You need to get away from them kind of people.
That's stupid.
Scripturally, you can go to 2 Timothy and 3. Read that whole thing about in 2 Timothy and 3, because it explains all these spirits and these people that you are around. And when he gets to verse 5, it says, from such people turn away.
That's right.
So he's giving you an instruction to stay away from certain things that feed your soul, man. And it makes you procrastinate on what your assignment is supposed to be, because you're constantly going to be fed what it is you're praying for God to take away.
Right.
Okay? So each time you do this, you will weaken its grip onto you. And so when I read Mean Girls, when I read this, it gives me an insight all the time. What we're going to do is there's going to be some information we're going to give you that we want you to read about Naomi and Ruth. One of the things in Naomi is that call me bitter. That really touched my life, because it says that my family left our hometown in Bethlehem, my thoughts of a better life. My husband and I packed up our 2 sons and moved to a country of Moab because there was famine in the land. We became comfortable in Moab, but one day the unthinkable happened. My husband died. So there's some women out here right now that are widows.
Right.
That are not being taken care of by us or the church.
That's
you know why? Because we don't know. We do this segment called From Miss, M-I-S-S, to M-R-S, to M-S. These titles are more important than you being an evangelist, a title this, a title that,
really.
or a prophetess and all this. All those titles are great when your identity is known. If you have never been married, you are MISS. So from the time you're born, all through elementary, middle school, high school, college, as long as you're not married, you can be 63 right now and never been married, you are a MISS. Okay? But once you get married, however many times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, you are MRS. Okay? We can love on our mamas all day long, but she ain't an MRS if she ain't married no more. You can still put that in front of her name, but that's not who she is. So you're already falsely putting something on someone that they're not. And we as women need to understand that these initials in front of our name are important, because it gives you let you know where we are in our life.
That's right.
So MIS, never been married. MISS, never been married. MRS, you got married. Okay? If your husband died or you got divorced, you are MS.
MS.
So therefore, when you are MS and you are addressed that way, someone knows either you're divorced or your husband or your spouse has passed. If you are a widow, we are supposed to take care of the widows. Love on them and be there for them, because through death, as to death do you part. And so you are one of far many that have done it or it ended out that way. Just like there's some people along the way you went to school with, remained a virgin all the way up till they met their husband.
Yeah.
And did it the way we were taught to do it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Those are far in between, but they happen. People do it right, okay? But it says, I was thrown in the depths of despair, and Ruth, orphan, and I were left alone in an unkind world. At that time, I thought it's funny, while my name means pleasant, my spirit counters such a light-hearted name. Instead, my spirit says, call me bitter.
Wow.
So in having everything that you want, you can get married, you can have the picket fence, the house, the car, the this and that. You put all this glory on you getting it. I got a new house. I got a new car. I got this. I got that. But can you imagine something coming in? I mean, God allowing everything to be taken from you. You lose your spouse. You lose your kids. Like, you're left all alone again. You did all this work to do it right. And then you get married and then lose it all just to be single again. When I heard that the famine was over in Israel, I decided to return home. I thought that at least my people were there and I could wait my time out to die. My daughters-in-law begged to return to Bethlehem with me because they were determined not to leave me. So, Naomi was blessed because these 2 daughters wanted to remain with her at the time because of famine in the land, and, they married outside of their culture.
Right.
So they were not going to be just as welcomed back. And we never know whatever happened to the other sister. When you think about it, I want to do the research on that. Orpah, O-R-P-A-H. I want to learn more about her because she goes back, and her sister didn't want to. Think about that. And so Orpah to return to her family in Moab, but Ruth refused to go. She was determined to accompany me. I reluctantly allowed her to do so. So at the end of the day, I want to do my research on her because I want to know what happened to her.
Yeah.
Because if one sister was afraid to go back and one wasn't,
Right.
there had to be a reason. When we arrived in Bethlehem, our status as widows meant we had no one to care for us. We had no food, and I was too old to work. When my friends tried to comfort me, all I could say was, call me bitter. Now I realized just how God blessed me by giving me Ruth. So God is saying in the midst of your storm, it may look one way, but God will bless you with a vessel to keep you on track.
That's
See,
right.
Ruth was a vessel to Naomi. And here she is, family of a king, so she would have never been without.
Right.
But there's a little pride in there because would you not go back and say, hey, I'll work on the land or I'll work, because if I know you got something, I'm going to come back and try to
Right.
not have too much pride and live on the street when I got an uncle got a mansion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She gleaned in the field so that we could eat. And when she was fortunate enough to work on the property of one of my relatives, Boaz, she followed my advice and eventually married this kind man. So in her advice was focus on the land. Focus on taking care of us. You came here to take care of me. So in taking care of me, you feel me? I'm too old to work.
Right.
So I need you to go out here and work so we can eat. Now just think about that. She wasn't pretty. She wasn't trying to go out here with no heels on and try to
Right.
impress the king and she didn't even know the king existed in that manner. She just
Right.
knew that somebody had some land.
Right.
And I'm too old to work and I'm going to need you to get out there and work so we can eat. So you got to ask yourself, are you pretty while you working? Are you pretty while you picking? You know, every job ain't requiring you to have on no scrubs. But there's some jobs that you got to dress up, put the heels on. But when you do that, are you lost in your stuff and what you wear and how much it costs versus the quality of service you give at the job that you're at? Reflect on a time when God took away your bitterness and gave you a spirit of praise. How can your past experience inspire you to continue to trust in the Lord? And it's telling you to read Ruth 1-9, which I think is very valuable to read Ruth, the story in itself. So for you, Donnie, when it says, you know, when in Proverbs, you know, it says love is a good thing for many reasons. And what are some of the health benefits?
Reduce stress and anxiety. Love can reduce stress, anxiety hormones, and can help you feel more calm and happy.
So you got to think about that. So you can end up feeling more calm and more relaxed and more in tune to what your purpose is when you are in love with someone and there's a good balance.
That's right.
What else?
It boosts your immune system. Feeling loved and secure can help boost your immune system.
So if you catch colds all the time, you sick all the time, allergies flaring up, love, in my opinion, is that person that's going to research and find things to counteract your health, meaning your diet, making sure you stay clean linen, clean house, clean filters, clean blinds. You know, when you have blinds in your house, you gotta keep dust particles away, humidifiers. Like love will bring out a person that's going to want that in your life, especially if you have those kind of disorders.
Exactly.
It's 9 times out of 10 something that you ain't doing versus what you could do to help it be better. So listen to your spouse. If you have a spouse that makes tonics and elderberries and sea moss and know some people that do, you know, when you got people that from natural point of view can help you, listen to them. When they tell you to drink chicken broth for 3 or 4 days and stay away from fried food or stay away from meat tenderizer and things of this nature, God has sent that vessel into your life for a reason, because too many people now are dying of health-related issues. What's another thing?
It lowers blood pressure. Happily married couples may have better blood pressure. Wow.
So having blood pressure means, once again, date nights, sitting down, having a meal together. Men and women, when you get off work, and kids, when you go to school, you got to think about life like this. When you go to school, you at school with several hundred kids a day.
Yeah.
When you get out of school, you come home, first thing you should do is check in.
That's it.
You know, husbands and wives, when you get off work, it's time to check in. Most of the time you check in on breaks at work or text each other, depending on the type of job that you have. But it's good to miss each other. It really is. But then once you get off work, you check in at home. You don't get off work and then go to the bar. Get off work and go shopping. get off work and do these things without
Yeah.
coming home and checking in first. Like if you want dinner at 6 o'clock, you know,
That's right.
on a regular basis, because kids get out of school, and when you get out of school, they'll come home, do the chores, do the homework, and eat a little something. Then they're back out at 6 o'clock
Right.
for certain after-school activities and games and things of this nature. But don't you function better when you are checked in, you know, everything's good, sister and brother home, you know, homework done, to where whatever you go out here and do and come back, it's a stress level you that is reduced because there's no stress in doing nothing when you get.
That's right.
When you do have to get
That's
home.
right.
If it's 8:30, 9 o'clock, and you don't have time to do nothing else but take a shower and get in the bed, guess what? Homework done, chores
Yep.
done, you done ate.
That's it.
Like, you might want a snack. Be like, give me a Rice Krispie before I go to bed, or oatmeal cream pie or something. But at the end of the day, you feel so much better, and that's one of the health benefits
That's of love.
of love. What is another one?
Improve heart health. Loving feelings can cause the brain to release hormones that can make your heart beat faster and stronger. Wow.
So think about it. If your heart never races, that's not good.
That's right.
So if you don't have intimacy, you don't walk up and down steps, you don't exercise, you don't run, you don't try to catch the mailman, you ain't running after the dump truck, get ready to take the trash, you know, forgot to take the trash out, you know, ran out there to get trash. If you ain't getting your heart raced, it's not good. That's causing a lot of problems at the end of the day. So remember, every day you need to do something that causes your heart rate to race.
That's right.
And
Raise
then
up.
and then calm back down, you know. But intimacy is important in relationships.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot go days and days and days. Ain't
Right.
this right?
That's right.
You cannot go days without taking care of your partner. Your libido needs to be exercised. Like, that is a part of human life.
It sure
and it
is.
is needed. And you'd be surprised the stress level that goes down even when you're having a bad
yeah,
day.
for real.
And feed into it each other. Quit being so mad at situations that you go
That's
away
right.
from your partner,
Right.
who is there to soothe you and to be there for you and take your mind off things you don't need to be thinking about.
Right.
Once you clock out. Clock out, go home, and clock in to home.
I know that's right.
And your life will be so
Yeah,
much
really.
better. What is another
It's
thing?
improve mental health. That's a good one. Love can help reduce feelings of isolation and depression.
So those of us that suffer with bipolar, PTSD, and you think that, okay, I don't need nobody, I can deal with this by myself, it causes a lot of tension to where you'll either rely on drugs, alcohol,
Yeah.
pills, porn. You'll start relying on things to take your minds off communication.
Yep. Or being promiscuous to
Yes.
just to be with somebody.
What is the next thing?
Increased longevity. Studies have shown that married couples tend to live longer than singles.
So being with someone and having someone to love you is so important, because at the end of the day, knowing how hard your day was, how our men and our women go out here and work and serve our country, and you know, the hospital workers, our public service,
Yeah.
we can't carry the madness of their jobs into our home.
That's right.
If you are not a police officer, as bad as this country deals with so much that goes on in
That's right.
it can't come home with either one of us. If I see something, you know, police brutality, officers getting off for crimes, for shooting people and things of this nature, at the end of the day, I gotta pray and move on.
That's right.
I can't be mad all day because of something that happened in another state to somebody I don't know. My heart can go out to them.
Right.
I can have empathy for any person, but I can't bring that anger into my home.
That's right.
You feel me? What's another thing?
Improve self-esteem and confidence. Feeling love can help you feel more secure and resilient when dealing with stressful situations.
So no matter what it is you're going through, having someone you can come home and talk to and release. Sometimes when you know your partner, because this is what I'm learning about our relationship, there are going to be days that I'm dealing with something and I really don't want an opinion.
Right.
I'm really throwing out there what I'm feeling on the inside out loud. Because 9
Right.
times out of 10, if you keep talking, you're going to answer your own questions.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because you're smart enough to figure things out. It's just sometimes thinking about it without writing it down. Because that's why I think journaling is important. When you don't write it down, you don't never make it plain. Because in
That's
your
right.
mind, you think so many scenarios that every one of them leads to wrong.
Yeah, and like for a man, he can have a bad day, but if he can come home even just to lay his head on his wife's lap, she rub his head. By the time it's over with, he'll wake up feeling like he'll get up feeling like he can go conquer the world.
Correct.
It really does happen that way.
And that's what's important in today's time is realizing each other's balance. There'll be times when you are dealing, like myself, I've buried 2 of my kids. So there'll be times that because I was single before I met him and my mechanism to help defend talking about it, I would isolate. So I would go get me a room somewhere or a suite where there's a fireplace and I get to go downstairs and work out, possibly swim. Like, it would take my mind away from people because I'm in an environment where I don't know nobody and I don't want nobody bothering me. Like, if you go in a hotel, you're not there to be like, hey, how you doing? Walking around all the floors and meeting people. You go for privacy. And it was beneficial for me. So I would isolate and not want to be around people. And then at the time I felt down, then, because going away didn't make me feel down. Going away made me feel productive because being away from people, I didn't have to give a reason to why I didn't want to talk.
Right.
Or give a reason why I didn't want to go shop because at that time I wanted to write. And then after I get it out of me, I needed to go somewhere where I was around people because now you've been in this 4 walls for so long, a couple days, that now coming out of it, you want to be around people. So your light starts to shine around others because then someone will say, oh, I like your hair, or, you smell so good. And it brings about something in you.
And see, like you learning about me, I'm an extreme introvert. I have a social clock, and when it clocks down, I don't want to be around nobody. But love helps you, kind of come out of that.
It really does.
It does.
So what is another one?
Sense of purpose. Love can be a source of growth and self-discovery and can help you become the best version of yourself.
So you got to say, through our love story, and it's like through sharing, regardless of what people had to say about how we met.
Yeah.
He was married when we met, but he was going through a divorce. And so I had to stay in the background.
That's
and
right.
At the end of the day, I've never had a guy to wait for me, but at the same time, he had to wait for me also because I didn't have to stick around and wait.
That's right.
But by being his friend and being that I was divorced, we had something in common, and we were able to nourish each other through a friendship through our common interest, which was music.
Yeah, and people tried to say that we were messing around while I was with my ex, which was not true.
Not at all.
I had left and never went back.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that's made our love story so great. And that for those of y'all, you can go to Soul's Right House, SOLS, the word Right House, on Facebook and on YouTube. And we have a channel there called Life and Love Podcast, Life and Love After Divorce and Grief. Mm-hmm. And so you'll be able to start to follow some of the journeys and some of the videos that we're going to start having and posting. We're excited about that. We're getting ready to go and enjoy 1 or 2 song messages from God. And then we're going to be right back. If you are interested in displaying your gift on our show, please go to soulsrighthouse.com/RSVP. And there you can submit your bio, your photo, and a video. And we will play it on our show. That's SOLSWRITHOUSE.com/RSVP. And we will be right back.
I want you back. God is saying, come back. Take time and read your Bible today. Know that He is watching you and everything that you say, 'cause He wants you and He has an assignment on your life, and He knows that if you take the time and pray, He's got your back. Come back to the Lord. Come back to the Lord. Just come back to the Lord. Just come back give it to the Lord. You're complaining and he sees you, but just know that today you are gaining. Nobody ever said that the devil won't mess with you or your family, but just know that when you pray, everything is gonna be okay, 'cause he's got your back. Come back to the Lord. Just come back to the Lord. Just come back to the Lord. Just come back. Come back. Take the time to know that God's there. Take the time to know that he cares. Know that everything's gonna be alright. Just know that he's there and everything that he said gonna be right there. No enemy, no weapons can form against you and me. So just take the time and get on your knees and start praying, fasting like Esther. Come back.
Now, hey everybody,
Hey,
and
welcome back.
to
Welcome
Life
back.
and Love
After Divorce and Grief.
And if you are interested in donating to our organization, we're a 501c3 nonprofit organization here in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Yes.
You can go to $ Shari Souls ENT, that's CHARRISOLSENT on Cash App, or all you have to do is go to our website. And that's SOLSWRITEHOUSE.com. And you guys, you can go there. You can shop for merchandise. Sometimes it's great to have a wonderful exchange.
Oh, yeah.
You can donate $25 a month, and each month you will receive a free T-shirt.
That's right.
That will come from our organization. We pick a T-shirt each month. And that we design with nice words and scriptures on it and things of this nature. You can support. And some of the proceeds that come to us, we have a 1 million mental health challenge. We're
That's
asking
right.
1 million people
To donate
to
$1.
$1 to the Souls Bright House. So that's the same Cash App that we're asking you. Go to our website and
That's
donate.
right.
But we're trying to do this challenge because we want to support PTSD
Yep.
and bipolar mental health awareness. So many people, veterans,
Yes.
non-veterans, people that's gone through so much, deal with PTSD and bipolar awareness, and
That's
no
right.
one knows how to deal with you, or they label you, which causes triggers in
That's
you.
right.
And it's a repeated cycle. So we want to get that changed, especially those that are incarcerated, people that are in lockdown facilities. Their mental health is important, and we want to bring awareness to it because we both deal with it.
That's right.
So we're going to go and dive head in to what causes it. We're going to have different resources and virtual events that are going to be coming up.
That's right.
If you are interested in being a part of our Bless the Mic, as we stated earlier, we're asking you to support
Yes.
and submit your videos. It is $25 to be a part of the Bless the Mic events. And what this is a 6-hour event where for 6 hours you get 10 to 15 minutes. You get to choose which one.
That's right.
Of airtime. So that means that we will zoom in to you, and we're asking you to have a wonderful background behind you, and you get to go live and display your gifts and talents. We're going to be asking all kind of talent agencies and marketing people. Tyler Perry Studios, Cat Williams is now opening up a studio
Yes.
in Alabama. We're going to be asking all of them to tune in to our YouTube channel to see various gifts and talents.
That's right.
And let God be in control of this industry, and to more or less allow more and more people to be exposed in a brighter
Right.
light.
Let me send a shout out to another king, David Bennett.
Yes.
He has an upcoming conference called God is in Everything.
God is in everything.
And he has a lot of good speakers. Y'all really need to attend this thing.
Yes, and it's going to be in Georgia. Him and Shay Samuels.
Yes.
They will be throwing this event. They host a lot of great conferences.
They sure do.
We will be doing some collaborations with them in 2025, which we're so excited about. And we're
yes.
looking to collaborate with even more. So please, all you have to do is visit our website at soulsrighthouse.com for more information and to become a guest on our show. Also, you can book us to come to your city for
Yes.
Root of My Pain Encounters. That's where we do storytelling
Storytelling,
events.
yes.
If you are a book author and you would like to come and share your story on our show, once again, please just go to Souls Right
That's
House
right.
/podcast. When you go there, it's going to submit information to you so that we can get a hold of you so that we can get your gift up and running on our show.
That's right.
So you know what? This has been a really good show.
It has been.
Knowing you have a good thing and learning to grow with one another, and even in your imperfections.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
we
yeah.
learn to connect with one another and appreciate each other's gifts. And we appreciate our indifferences.
Exactly. Indifferences help make you a better person.
Yes,
it does. Help you be more understanding.
Because I understand you, baby.
I understand you, too.
More and more
More
every
and
day.
more every day.
You better
and
know.
Next week, y'all, we're going to be talking about, a lot like in Life and Love After Divorce, we're going to be talking about a lot of reasons why some people feel like they can't love again.
Right. And what's important is you can send us some of your reasons why
Exactly.
on our Facebook group, which is Souls Right House. So all you
Right.
got to do is go to Souls Right House groups. And when we want you, we're going to put it up there on the page that some reasons why you feel like you can't love again.
That's right.
And what we want to do is we're going to pray against that mindset.
Exactly.
Because you don't want to pray in your life what you really
Don't want.
And that's one of the things that we have to conquer is be careful. Life and death is in the
power
power
of
of
the
the tongue.
tongue.
So you do have to be careful. And we are on the upside of love
We
and
sure
life
are.
after divorce. We came off on our first couple of shows as people, we were angry in some areas
Yeah, just being
internally
transparent.
and to
Yeah.
be transparent because we get so caught up in religion and people
Yes.
are church hurt.
Right.
And they're just tired of people being in pulpits being one way and then their lives reflect
Because,
something totally
yes,
different.
And a lot of untruths that were told about us.
Yes.
No one came to us to talk to us, you know, but it's all good
So
now.
we said we had to let it go. That when we jumped the broom,
Yeah, that was
we
it.
left
We
all,
left all
old
that
things
behind.
in the back.
That's
and
right.
No longer to bring them forth to control how we feel.
That's right.
But to use as a vehicle for you
That's
that
right.
may be going through the same thing. Because one thing I've learned is we wasn't the first, and we sure
Bring
won't
'em
be the last.
last.
So at the end of the day, God bless all of you all.
God bless y'all.
Just know that healed people,
Heal people.
God bless.
God bless.
Love you.
I love you too.
If you wanna pray that gotta believe that. If you wanna pray that. If you wanna pray that. Gonna have to believe that. If you gonna pray that, gonna have to believe that. If you gonna believe that, starting today, troubles don't last long. Come on, you gotta pray them away. Gonna have believe like that. Alright, yes. Gonna have to believe that. You gotta believe if you gonna break that. Gonna have to believe that.
Again, thank you for tuning in to Life and Love After Divorce and Grief podcast. Stay connected on our website at soulsbrighthouse.com. Situations